Welcome back to the Today Show, where we are taking an in-depth look at the culture of the Walt Disney Company, one of the most successful and creative companies in the entire world. Today, we are going to invite the Walt Disney himself on to talk about how he created this wonderful company. Walt, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Walt.
Thank you very much.
Good to have you back from the grave.
Good to be back alive.
Yeah, so my first question is, when you started out, what was your main goal with the creation of this company? What were you trying to accomplish?
Great question. Yeah, when I grew up as a kid, I grew up in somewhat of a tough childhood. My father was short-tempered. He took me out of school. I had to work and deliver papers during the day and night, sometimes in the cold rain or snow. So I had a kind of a tough childhood. So when I draw, I could have this escape. And so that's what I wanted Disneyland to be. I wanted it to be an escape from the harsh world that we sometimes live in. So I always wanted this magical experience to be, a different place you go, a new world. That's what I wanted Disneyland to be.
So you were definitely successful in accomplishing that goal, and you definitely made one of the most magical places in the world with Disneyland. I'm also wondering how you've been able to keep creativity alive in your company. So obviously you've had to come up with new ideas and new products. Would you mind speaking to that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I think we've had two values at our company that have helped us always stay creative. First is to always push limits. Whenever someone has told us that something couldn't be done, we've always tried to do it. So a great example of that is the release of the Tiki Room. If you've ever been inside, we have these little parrots that are robots that sing to you. This is the first time that's ever been introduced in a ride, and we were told we couldn't do it, but we did it anyways. It didn't always make sense financially, but we went ahead and did it. And the second thing is to never stop improving. If you notice closely when you go next time to Disneyland on the castle, you'll notice I've left one of the spires unpainted. And that's because I always wanted that to be a symbol to my employees that we'd never finish improving and completing Disneyland. So we're always looking to improve. I'd say those two things are what have always kept us creative.
Well, great. Thank you for your time, Walt. It's a pleasure for you to be here.
Thank you, Ryan.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back.
Maya Angelou and many other people, I think, said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I tell my leaders, make sure you care for other people, because you as a leader can't get it done unless you do it through others. We're trying to get a dish machine changed out, and everybody's talking about how difficult it was. So I went in costume as a steward and worked in that particular location with them and go, wow, what a difficult job it was. And we actually were able to get the money to change that dish machine. But what it also showed was care and concern for my people. If they had to struggle through that, then I was going to struggle through with it.
Our next guest is going to be Sadie Young, the Chief Officer of Disney Charity. Welcome, Sadie.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So we know that Forbes has recently published on their list of 10 most corporate socially responsible companies that Disney is the leader in their citizenship category. So congratulations for that.
Thank you. I'm really excited.
Yes, it's very cool. What has Disney done to be so environmentally friendly and contribute to charity?
Yeah, so first, I think as a company, we really want to act in accordance with the stories we tell, the experiences that we offer our guests, and the images that we project. And to really be a really authentic company, we want to, entertain families one day and then, really act in accordance with their best intentions in the world that they live in. Because we don't think you should just entertain them one day and then completely disregard the world that they live in. So acting responsibly, we feel, is very core to our brand. So we feel that Disney has made that a really significant part of, who and what Disney does every day. And so that means that we really inspire our employees to give back. The volunteers program really has inspired our employees to give back to children and families. We started the Toys for Tots program. We celebrate Earth Day. We put out movies. I'm sure everyone's seen them. I know about the Earth that we live in. We contribute to funds. It was actually really cool. This past year we opened up a solar plant right near the Walt Disney Resort in Florida, and it was on 22 acres of solar. to really help use natural resources in this world that really is very polluted. So all these things together are things that Disney has made a special effort to do to be friendly to our world that we live in.
Yeah, so I think it's very obvious that Disney is helping improve their community, so we thank you for your effort on that front. We also thank you for joining us today. Stay young, everyone.
I think that one of the interesting things about this company, part of what makes it such a great company to work for, and so different from other places, is an openness of thought.
I was going to be here for a year. It's been 12.
It's fun to be able to say I work for Disney and just see the reaction that you get from people when you say that.
Welcome back. We are now going to speak to Brandon, who is a current employee for the Walt Disney Company. Brandon, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So Brandon, I gotta say, it seems like people just really like and love working for Disney. Why is that?
Well, Brian, it really is true that people love to work at Disney. From my experience, it's a supportive, almost family-like culture that exists among the employees and managers. You might be surprised to know that Disney actually pays their employees lower salaries than their competitors.
Wow.
And that's very interesting, but it's because of their culture that they have at Disney that makes people feel included and want to come work there. Especially things like onboarding process, where they really train us not only in job duties, but on things such as company values, company beliefs, and really help us fit into that family-like role at Walt Disney. And there's other things they use. They have different types of incentives and rewards that they also use to motivate employees there.
Yeah, you mentioned rewards being an important part of Disney's culture. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, the rewards are one of the most important incentives that Disney uses to motivate employees and show recognition. All departments at Disney have some type of unique way that they can show recognition in front of their group. So the cast members, I know they use a plausogram. So anytime they see a cast member that goes above and beyond their job description or some kind of superior excellence, they can give them an applausogram, and everyone is able to see that. And even though it's just a piece of paper, it really does motivate the people to not just do their job, but do it with excellence and do more than what they're just asked to do.
Well, great. Thank you for your time, Brandon. Also, thank you for your insights into the culture of Walt Disney Company. We are now going to cut to Justin, one of our reporters who has spent the last week on site at the Walt Disney Company. Justin?
Thank you, Brian. Like you said, I've been here for the week at Disney observing. I know you might think it looks a lot like the Tanner Building, but I'm at Disney. And there's a lot of the things that I've been able to observe was that emphasize this creative culture here at Disney. There's a board in the office that asks you what are your thoughts on a certain thing, and then they'll have employees draw pictures depicting that item. So like a few weeks ago for Black Friday, they said, what do you think of Black Friday? And different people drew things about what they thought. And it was very artistic, very creative. And one thing that an employee said while I was interviewing him, if he could describe the culture of Disney, he said it would be magically political, which it makes sense for where Disney is and how big they are. You really have to be magically political and also creative in your career. So, thank you, and back to Brian.
We want to thank all the employees from the Walt Disney Company who have come today to share more about what makes their culture so unique. I think it's pretty obvious to see that Walt Disney Company has one of the most creative cultures and environments in the world today. So thank you for tuning in, and see you next time.